Good evening, guys. Just allow me to set up the screen. Just a few minutes. You can hold on. Right now, I am ready to go. Welcome to the participants. A warm welcome and good evening. Today, our topic will be on how analytics can help a supply chain and sourcing professional. Of course, logistic is also included in this. We are going to take some few case studies, some Excel file to demonstrate how much it will be helpful in your career as an individual, also for the organization, how learning analytics can help improving the performance of the organization. Of course, in the general domain, many people use many organization use analytics only for forecasting, but there is a diverse application, especially if you are in the supply chain field. You can use it, for example, for the inventory or logistic management or sourcing management. We will see some of the live cases, but before that, I would like to introduce myself briefly. My name is Pattabhi Raman. This is my LinkedIn profile. If anyone would like to connect or follow me, you are welcome to do it. And I am searchable by using supply chain master keyword in LinkedIn. As far as my profile is known, I'm an engineer with a management degree as well as PG diploma in data science. I have nearly 2.5 decades in these type of organizations, especially in supply chain and allied domains. So you can expect me to have an in-depth knowledge on each of these subdomains. In the last 10 years, I was heading the supply chain in this multinational organization as the head of supply chain. Last 5 years, I have been CEO for the current organization called Thoughtware Training Private Limited. We are involved in both consulting and training. As far as my certification is concerned, hope if you are a supply chain professional, you should be aware about these certifications, and they are must if you are in the job field. Similar organization from US known as Demand Driven Institute, they also offer similar certifications. I am also a certified purchasing manager and project management professional, apart from being qualified as a, supply chain analyst. Regarding our organization, we are based in Bangalore, and we are a 4 years old organization. We provide both training and consulting in the field of supply chain and allied domain, and we are operating under trade name of Expert SEM. We provide job oriented short term practical programs in supply chain management, logistic management, and specifically analytics oriented towards this program. For example, supply chain analytics, certified sourcing analyst. We are going to take some few examples, see how these are applicable to the respective subdomain, and also what exactly the employers are looking in the current job market. Apart from this, we also provide various global certification training program. Coming to the case study, let us directly go to the Excel file. Okay, hope we are able to see the Excel file. This is one of the case study. Of course, this data is supposed to be from Philips mobile purchase behavior. Assume that you are going to be a dealer who want to sell through the Flipkart or any other on-site medium. So you have a data, for example, last 2 or 3 months data available regarding purchasing behavior of the customer, as well as you have the data about various models of mobile and what is the sales price discount, of course what is the turnover possible. Based on this, you have to select most appropriate model which you want to sell on the online. Of course, I can read the titles. This data could be in millions. Okay, I have just extracted a few days data because, especially in festival season, the sales could be in tens of thousands, especially with respect to only the mobile phone. Here you have the brand, model, base color, processor, screen size, ROM, RAM, display size, and so many other characteristic. And also you have customer rating, and more importantly number of rating. Then you also have a sales price, then discount percent is also available. Finally you have the sales in crore turnover, we can say. So, any idea, anyone can comment how do we analyze this file and give a proposal to the dealer which model he has to select from this various model? Anyone, can you please type in the comments? These are one of the application, real-time application. Mainly, if you are in the supply chain, these type of instances you can face in day-to-day requirement. But of course we have modified combining both buyer as well as sellers interest here. Can anyone type what kind of analysis you can do, and how you can suggest to the dealer a specific model to sell online? Any idea? Can anyone type on the LinkedIn comments what type of analysis can be done? If you have, for example, 1 million data, is Excel is sufficient to do analysis? Can the participant, okay, Vijay Chandra is talking about using pivot table. Can you use it when you have 1 million records in the Excel table? What you will analyze using pivot table? What you will analyze? Gaurang says he is not able to see the screen sharing. How about others? Of course, the size will be small. That's why I have read the column title. Maybe if you are interested, you can reach out to me so that I can share the files. If someone want to see this data sets, I will be able to share the file. But here I am just asking you idea when you have files like this, especially when you have a million data, how you can handle and what exactly you are going to look in this type of a file. Any idea? Any of the participants? You can type in the comments. Of course, we will see another 2 or 3 case studies where you can apply analytics for the benefit of organization. Of course, it is going to improve your career in terms of performing your work. Can anyone type on the comments? Meanwhile, I am moving to the second case study, and here we have data or regarding delivery truck trip starting. We have all the necessary data. Maybe I will read the titles of the columns. For example, Here we are talking about booking ID, the market, booking ID date, you have the vehicle number, origin location, and destination location. And you also have latitude and longitude of both the origin and destination. And also you have planned ETA, expected arrival time, and this is being tracked. So at any point of a time we know what is the current location. So the organization wants to know, based on the current location, will it meet the expected arrival time in the destination location. Any idea how to calculate the distance when you know the latitude and longitude of two locations? You can type in the comments, anyone who is aware. This is one of the logistic application. Of course, whoever in the supply chain may be interested in solving this type of a problem. You have the both the latitude and longitude of both the origin and destination, and any point of a time you will also know the current location in terms of latitude and longitude. And the party wants to know, based on the current location, whether the vehicle can reach the destination in the required time. Any idea? Can anyone type on the comments how you can calculate or analyze using this file? What is the insight we can derive from these type of files? Of course, here I have a count of 7,000 records. Any idea how we can calculate the distance by using latitude and longitude? Any of the participants? If you know the answer, you can always type. I am watching in the LinkedIn comments. This could be a real application for the people who are working specifically in logistics subdomain of supply chain management, or if you are interested in applying for any job in e-commerce company. This is one of the basic questions for you. The similar data set will be provided to you. Anyone has an idea how we can analyze this data? Rohit Nambisan says past information can be used to estimate performance of the truck. Okay, so what is the method you want to use? What we can do it with the available data? How do you measure distances when you know the latitude and longitude? Of course, many of you may be knowing how to measure latitude and longitude of your location. Do you know that? Of course, you cannot directly use Google Maps to measure the distance between two locations, because there are several other adjustment factors which has to be considered. Anyone has an idea how we can use this data and arrive at some prediction? Of course, in the analytics field, most people use just forecasting for analytics, but analytics is not just only for forecasting. We can do many wonders in the supply chain field in terms of optimization. especially when it comes to inventory management or in the logistic, like these type of timing prediction in case of delivery items. We will also see one more data set, which is regarding a data of the vendor. You can see different columns like invoice ID, vendor code, GL code, invoice amount, item description, and product category. Maybe possible that a sourcing professional can use this type of a data, especially when you have working in a large organization or trying to apply for a job in such a large organization. You should be handling this type of data. What type you can do analysis with the given data in the sourcing field when this type of data is available? Can anyone answer? Type in your comments. You have this different field of data, but of course the database is very huge. So how do you handle this? What kind of analysis can be made in this? Can anyone type your insight into the three different data set which I have displayed here? Rohit says supplier performance. So, what kind of supplier performance you can do with this given data? OTD, of course, here we don't have such a data here. In this particular case study, I have a invoice amount, product category, vendor, different vendors, but I do not have the data regarding delivery performance of the vendor. Okay, so let us understand what exactly is analytics, so why it is required in our professions. Okay, your business should be always based on empirical data. Any decision what you take should be based on numbers. Analytics always promotes accuracy, consistency, and broader view of the effects of the business. Analytics most of the time are bias free and credible, and numbers requires little translation. That is the reason why you have to believe the numbers. And finally, the ability to gain insight into information can make a huge difference in everything you do, from experience you deliver to customer to the efficiency of your business operations. And in analytics, most of the people who are into data analytics, their focus will be generally on forecasting. Of course, forecasting is also a part of supply chain analytics, but we can do many more wonders using analytics. Specifically, I am talking about machine learning and artificial intelligence. Either we can use in exploratory data analysis or forecasting or prediction, or most importantly, optimization in supply chain projects. We have seen the application general, when it comes to general application, analytics is there for the last 2 decades and more, and many functions are already using it, especially when it comes to entertainment. They are using it for a long time, possibly life science, also the retail industry. The applications are wide. In the recent time, the applications of IoT is also increasing. The application based on self-driving car as well as facial recognitions, But if you see real core supply chain, only few global organizations are able to utilize them and make a big improvement. Normally, in manufacturing, the analysis is very basic. Possibly, if you use Excel, then we can say it is a basic. That too, if you are not using advanced tool in Excel, then it's a basic form. Of course, data creation in supply chain is huge. You know, every day a vast amount of data is generated, possibly from ERP, or there are so many other standalone or integrated software used by any organization. So it's a data creating monster. Coming to the real core example, like I have shown you some of the example in sourcing, logistic, or in case of a sales, similar things can happen in a day-to-day environment. For example, how do you minimize the shortage or back orders? If you know the sales history, so some type of a prediction can be done here. Next could be optimizing the inventory, forecasting error optimization, what happens if the demand falls, how you will preserve margin. These are some examples, okay, day to day, as well as in terms of tactical as well as strategical requirement. Okay. Have any one of the participants used analytics other than Excel to improve the supply chain performance? You can type in the comments if you have already used using some advanced tool. Of course, Excel is mostly our friend, but you have to keep in mind Excel has its own limitations. When you use more data, more than, for example, 10,000 records, it may hang or break down. Okay, but if you are using some advanced data, it is fine. For example, there are a lot of add-in tools available. One is, what if analysis is possible using scenario manager. There are some tools like data analysis solver tools. These are higher level tools. In fact, we use them in our analytical projects. You also have some statistical data analysis tool available. Apart from Visual Basic, Macro, these are all basic add-in tools to Excel. Many of us, including me, 5 years back, I was using Excel as a notepad, only for using pivot, sorting, all that. But you can do wonders provided you have a limited data. But if you are using it with multiple sheets, thousands of record with so many formulas, then the error rate is going to be high. In fact, if anyone is watching from yesterday's session, if you are using only Excel, then possibly you are using a potential of only 50%, even in terms of forecast accuracy. But somebody can say, I am doing much better. That's different. Coming to the power of Python, Python is one of the basic analytical tools which can be used for improving the performance of supply chain. You can see the usage of Python compared to other tools here. And if you are looking for any training, specifically if you are looking for any trainers, you have to look into these three category. One is whether the trainer is experienced in the domain, at least 20 or 30 years experience should be there. Second one is APIC certification is must. For you being a supply chain professional, you should also be APIC certified. But at least when you are trying to take some training, you should see your trainers are at least certified by APICs. If not, see in the US market, they don't consider people as a supply chain professional if they are not certified by specifically APICs. Maybe there are other forums are available, but it is globally recognized certification. And another one is, you have to see the same person whether he has the analytical capabilities. And you should not take any individual character of this three things. All three things should be there combinedly, which I possess all these three things. and we will see what employees are looking for in the recent time. If you are in the job market, maybe you can also know that I have taken some of the few job posting in the recent times to show you what are the latest changes in the job posting. There is a change in the designation. The titles are changing nowadays. Earlier, we used to call as supply chain executive manager. Now, all that are slowly disappearing, and the expected skill set is also changing nowadays. Possibly now companies are willing to pay more if you have the required skill set. We will see some of the example. I am showing you some position from Johnson and Johnson. Possibly this is a bit too old, but I wanted to show you even at a senior level. You can see the designation general supply chain analytics manager, possibly a high level salary. So what they are looking is analytical capability apart from APIX certification. I have highlighted. I'm not sure you are able to see it, but you can always search in Google. You will get this job posting. Even at a middle level, you see a posting from Flipkart. They are asking for a senior analytics manager. You don't see even a supply chain word here, but if you see the job description, they are talking about supply chain manager with analytical skill. And at the entry level, you can see a posting from Honeywell. They are talking about logistic analyst. Okay, so irrespective of whatever subdomain you are there, they are expecting you to have some skill. So here the skill, we are not talking about basic Excel. It is much behind, especially if you are working in a large organization or try to apply for a job in for example e-commerce companies where millions of transaction happens. But it doesn't mean that they are looking for some software developers or programmers. No, they want this additional skill set in the supply chain professional. So two things are important: you should be very strong in your domain, also use additional tools for demonstrating your capability. Okay, so I can just I have in fact I was showing these type of JDs in my previous program. Many such JDs are available. Possibly you can search only as an analyst in supply chain, or even you can put APIX requirement. Don't put any other wordings. You will see lot of job requirement. So, what is expected from the candidate is in depth knowledge of end to end supply chain management and a subject matter expert either in planning, procurement, or logistic function. Also certified by a global organization. See, they are not looking for local certification nor a person without a certification. Now the dynamics is changing in the job market, so they are looking for two things: deep domain knowledge as well as some certification in globally recognized certification. Of course, analytics has become a basic tool now. Without this, the survival itself will become difficult currently in future. So I have found a very big gap because I was trying to do this type of program few years back. Everything was theory. It was taught in an organization where person was never visited any industry nor globally certified. Possibly they are professors with the PhDs, but they are not so much interlinked with the core industrial application. So this is where I need to first myself educate, get experience, and launched several programs. In fact, this supply chain analytics program is one of the successful program, and 12th batch is going on, where we have 8 modules. We provide training on the basic practical application of supply chain. And as per the global standard, the content of this module 1 is as per the global standard. And coming next, we also train people on statistics and mathematics. Of course, if you have interest in analytics, you cannot directly jump to analytics without refreshing this basic requirement. We train the candidates on SQL, Python, and also more importantly, we do lot of live project. I have shown you some few examples in Excel. In fact, I have such a huge project, you cannot even open such file in Excel. You have to directly import. And our focus is not on forecasting alone. Forecasting, there are a lot of people available in the market, and there are so many methods, but finally you have to see whether there is any real benefit for the user by using different sophisticated method, including deep learning. If it is going to just improve 0.1%, there is no necessity of using such advanced method. For me, for forecasting, you can use basic methods, whereas when it comes to optimization of supply chain core items, you need the knowledge of analytical tools. That's where we come into picture. We also train the people on Power BI. It's a 5 month short term job oriented program. If you are purely in sourcing domain, we also have a program called Certified Sourcing Analyst, and we train them in 3 modules. You can see this content wise, it's a global content. Okay, something, if you are preparing for any global certification, something similar to that will be available in this program, module 1 and 2. In module 3, we are going to train people on advanced Excel, especially the solver, which we were discussing earlier, along with the Python. And here also, we are going to use many live projects to demonstrate the capability of using these analytical tools. And all our programs are weekend, and most importantly, they are live, online, and interactive type of a program conducted by domain experts. Okay, and if you are a youngster, you are a student or a fresher looking for some assistance in terms of internship, scholarship, or placement, we can do it after you enroll for our programs. You can also visit our site to see the recent Google review from many of our participants. And if you need any clarification, I will be online for next couple of minutes. You can always type in the LinkedIn comments so that I can watch and respond. For other people, you can always note down our team's WhatsApp number, and our website is displayed. You can always welcome to contact us if you need any doubts, clarification, or you need to discuss with me on any requirement with respect to supply chain. I am always available. So, any doubts, clarification? You can always type in the comments, because in this medium there is no direct interaction possible. I can only see and respond based on your WhatsApp message. Participants, any doubts, clarification? You can always note down the numbers and reach out to our team, or I am available on all the social media. You are welcome to reach to me. So if there are no comments, we can leave now. How was the program? You, those participants who are there, can you type about what you feel about this type of a short time program which I am doing online live? Can you type your comments? Do you like such type of a short programs? Gaurang Bopale is asking, is engineering background required for SQL Python? Of course not. Especially in supply chain field, there are many people apart from engineering domain. They are not at all required. If you know how to use Excel, You can always use SQL and Python, but learning Python and SQL is not a big deal. You can always learn using online free tools are available, but you have to see how you can use this in using supply chain application. So a combined knowledge is required, not one separate knowledge. Combined knowledge is required. That's where it's going to help you. Any other questions? Okay, we will conclude for the day. Thanks for participating. You are always welcome to reach out to me.